Nature enthusiasts, this one's for you. We're talking all things forestry and horticulture in this episode of Inside Erie. Joining me now is Town Forester Tom Reed. Tom, thanks for chatting with me today.
Happy to be here.
So in honor of the town's 150th anniversary, I know you have some special celebrations going on this month. Tell us what you have.
Well, this year is Erie's 26th Arbor Day Celebration. We'll be holding that event on April 27th at Erie Community Park at the Post Shelter. We'll have all sorts of educational opportunities for the public, kids activities, food trucks, other vendors and exhibitors as well. This year, in celebration of our 150th, we are also giving away a lot of free tree seedlings, but 150 mature trees for folks to plant in their own yards. So people can register online ahead of the event, or they can come to the event and register there. After the event, we'll do a drawing and randomly give away the 150 trees that'll be similar to the size of the trees that you see in our town tree nursery. We'll be giving those to the public after the event as well.
Wow, what a great gift. That's awesome. So what kind of value do trees and horticulture bring to Erie?
Well, I think it's easy to think of all the aesthetic value that trees and shrubs and flowers provide to a town. But they also provide a lot of eco benefits that people don't think of. A lot of energy savings in the summer, but also energy savings in the winter, as well as a number of stormwater benefits as well. And of course the wildlife habitat and wildlife food.
And the town's logo is actually a cottonwood tree. So can you explain some of the history and significance behind that?
Sure, it's a neat story. So it is modeled after a cottonwood tree. That cottonwood tree still exists. It's just east of County Line Road and just south of Highway 52. So if you're at that intersection, that four-way intersection at County Line Road headed north about to cross Highway 52, if you're at the red light and while your car is paused, you look to the right, the first large mature tree that you see is that cottonwood tree. It's bright yellow in the fall. In the summertime, it's a nice lush green tree.
Interesting. I had no idea that tree actually still was in existence, so that's very cool.
It is. Leon A. Worrell, who was a very significant town administrator in this town in the 90s, he and his wife, Nancy Worrell, were very, very fond of that tree, and they selected it for the town's logo.
Very cool. Do you have any tree care tips for Erie residents this April?
Absolutely. So the spring is a great time to plant trees, and I get a lot of phone calls from residents asking what type of tree should they plant in their yard. What I ask residents to do is try and model what we do in our own public parks. So when my staff and I are trying to decide which trees to plant, what we do is we pull up a species report of what species are already represented in that park. If one particular species starts to reach anywhere near 10% of the overall trees that are in that park, we stop planting that particular species and try and introduce other species. The reason for that is that tree, insect, and diseases tend to be very species specific. So, for example, if we find that we have 10% maples in a particular park, we stop planting maple in that park and make sure to introduce some other species. The reason for this is that tree insect and diseases tend to be very specific to specific species of trees. So if a bug were to come to town that kills only our maple trees, it would only kill 10% of the trees in that particular park, and we would only lose 10% of the eco benefits that particular species provides for us. So I ask homeowners to do the same thing. Take a look at your neighbor's property to all directions and see what species are represented in their yard, and then attempt to plant a species that's completely different.
Okay, that's a really excellent tip. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And thank you for all the information you've given us today. I hope people can make it out to the Arbor Day celebration and take part in the tree raffle. Thanks again, Tom. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching Inside Erie. We'll see you next time.